Hi, I'm Amy Jensen, and this is the Puppy Training Podcast, episode number 3, Effective Socialization. This podcast is for people looking to train their own dog, either as a companion, therapy, or service dog. This is the Puppy Training Podcast, and I'm your host, Amy Jensen. Hello! Today I thought we'd do something fun for Facebook Live. I have a sweet puppy here with me, and I thought I would introduce you guys to her. Her name is Remy. She's an Australian Labradoodle. If you haven't met me before, my name is Amy, and I'm a professional dog trainer. I'm the owner and creator of Baxter and Bella's online puppy school. And today I want to share with you some really great tips on how to socialize a brand new puppy. So some people don't understand that there is a critical period when puppies need to be socialized. So I want to make sure that everybody knows that today and that that information gets out there because it's a critical window, and we call it a critical window because once it passes, we can't get that time back. So the time that we can spend with our puppy those first few weeks introducing them to as many people, sights, sounds, smells, places, hi sweetheart, as we can, the better. Now, when we do this, we have to make sure that they're having a good experience. So when I say socialization, I don't by any means mean to just throw your puppy out into the world and let them be fearful and afraid, and then you're just forcing them to do things. That's not effective at all and not helpful. But it is helpful to get them out to have positive experiences, even if those experiences are neutral, it's okay. So we want them to have experiences where they see new things, and if your puppy acts a little afraid or a little fearful, then all you have to do is, help them realize that it's not such a scary thing. So what I'll do a lot of times is I'll just go up to the thing or the whatever the puppy's afraid of, and I'll show the puppy that I'm not afraid of it, and then I'll just kind of say, hey, do you want to come check this out? Sometimes the puppy does, sometimes the puppy doesn't. I never ever force my puppy to go interact with something that it doesn't want to. I just mainly want him to see things and to realize that he can bounce back or have a rebound from that kind of experience. So that's a really good thing to watch for. When you see your puppy, let's say you take it up to a horse and the horse is big and your puppy's not so sure about the horse. If your puppy's acting a little fearful, like it's tucking its tail or it's hiding behind you, those are all signs that your puppy doesn't really want to interact with that big animal. And so what I'll do is I'll just walk up to the horse and I'll pet the horse, and I'll just let my puppy watch and see if he wants to come over. If he does make a move towards the horse, or I might even just toss some treats closer to the horse, or I'll just kind of feed him a treat if he wants to come check it out. If he doesn't, that's totally fine. I'll still probably just feed him a treat for just being there and checking it out. And then that helps him kind of classically associate that, this big horse or animal is not that scary. So the rebound that we're talking about is that our puppy might initially act scared of that horse, but then after he sees me interact with it, or he gets a couple treats for being by the horse, then hopefully it's not that big a deal, and the puppy realizes like, oh, I can go and interact with that. It's not that big a deal. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for that bounce back in our puppy where he's like, okay, this is not so bad. Yeah, so back to that socialization. When I'm socializing a puppy, I just feed them treats, and then I'm just going to rub down her body. So I like to touch her ears, and I pull on them a little bit, and then I rub her tail. I touch each little paw pad. So like I'm pretending like I'm clipping her nails even, and she doesn't mind that. And I'm just going to feed her treats while I pick up each little paw. And I try to go slow, not too fast. Quick, fast movements aren't as great for puppies. They get a little bit flipped out by it. Another thing I love to do is I like to pick them up, and I'm just going to settle them back here like this, lay them on their little backs. I'm just going to feed her a treat, and I like to rub her belly. Now, Remy loves a good armpit rub, don't you? Yeah. She also likes her little ankles rubbed. You don't want to do that right now? Yeah. So if she doesn't want to, then I let her get in a more comfortable position. I don't want to force her to be in any position necessarily. We're just going to see if she can relax a little bit. She's kind of in a play mode right now, so she might not want to settle, but here she comes. So she'll come back up here, and we'll try to get her belly rubbed. I rub down their legs, and then I like to stick my fingers in their mouth so that they can... Hi, sweetheart. Yeah, stick my fingers along her teeth as if I'm brushing them, because that's going to get her ready for some toothpaste and a little toothbrush eventually. So I just let her she's not biting me, she's just kind of mouthing me, but I'm sticking my fingers in her mouth. I like to look in their ears. Most puppies actually really love a good ear rub. You don't want that right now, but it's really relaxing for them to usually, if you just kind of rub their ears, they usually just kind of settle right into it. You don't want to do that yet though, huh? She'd rather go play right now. Anyway, that's a really good thing to get into the habit of doing, is just rubbing your puppy down every day. You would rather play, huh? You're in a more playful mood. And having other people do it as well. Maybe you have family members or maybe you have friends that come over and maybe they could help you do it as well, because then when your puppy meets a stranger, like the vet or the groomer, they're not going to be as sensitive or shy or anxious when that person is touching them. So that's a really good way to socialize your puppy. Hi, Remy. Yeah. A couple other puppy tips I can tell you right now while I have Remy with me is a lot of questions I get about new puppies are biting. How do I get my puppy to stop biting? As you can tell, puppies bite a lot. They have really sharp teeth. They're cutting their teeth, and so their gums hurt. They're also, just by nature, they're dogs, and dogs chew, and they try to keep their jaws really strong. And so they have to chew a lot to do that. It's just something that they do. And puppies don't know what they can chew or can't chew. That's our job, to teach them what they can or can't chew. And so I always have toys or bones just around wherever I am, that if she were to start biting my hand or my leg or my arm, I literally just have something else that I can just kind of replace it with. Like, I don't want her to bite that bed, so I'm just going to put something else in her mouth. Now, generally speaking, if your puppy is chewing on, let's say, a table leg or a chair, that's a hard object, and so I would replace it with a hard object like this bone. If my puppy is going for like her dog bed or my pant leg or a sweatshirt or something or a pillow, then I would grab a softer toy and I'd replace it with a softer toy. Because sometimes they do want to sink their teeth into something hard, and sometimes they would rather sink their teeth into something soft. So, but yeah, for biting, the best thing you can honestly do is just replace. If they are mouthing you, it's okay to say ouch, and in a really high pitched tone, a really quick tone. You're trying to simulate what a puppy would say to her if, she bit them too hard or something. And then I take all attention away too. So if she was, biting my hand, it's an ouch, and I move my hand away, and she kind of responds like, oh, she doesn't like that. It just kind of teaches her what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. All right, well, you guys have an awesome weekend. I'm going to go back to training Remy. She's been really fun to have at our house. We have her for the next little while, so you'll probably see some more of her. You guys have a great week with your puppies. If you have a question about anything you heard on this podcast or any other puppy training question, visit my site, baxterandbella.com, to contact me.